since I left here. Over there's that country store where I bought my first beer. It's just a trip around home, a place under the sun. It was where my daddy taught me how to shoot a gun. Wish I was drinking with my buddies round here, or sitting in the woods shooting me a big old deer with the radio on and no country song. Man, I love this trip around home. Mama's on the porch in a rocking chair. Y'all come in, supper's done. Wash your hands before the prayer. Me and Dad come in. We removes his hat. Didn't have much on the table, but he gave us all he had. It's just a trip around home, a place under the sun. It was where my daddy taught me how to shoot a gun. Wish I was drinking with my buddies round here, or sitting in the woods shooting me a big old deer with the radio on, no country song. Man, I love this trip around home. Seemed like yesterday, met a simple girl. Little did I know that she would be my whole world. We moved off to start a family of our own. And now she's riding shotgun on this trip around home.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to thank you guys so much for joining the Main Stage Music weekly live stream. What we're doing is, this is the September, I know it's like the last couple of days of August, but this is the September Artist Showcase. And we have a very special guest with Josh Bearden. Who is, we're going to get into who he is. Okay. But let me, first of all, thank you guys for watching, and let you know that we are watching our phones here. So any comments that you make, we can read on the air. Any questions that you have for our featured artist, we will ask him for on your behalf, and so on. And again, thank you so much. If you're not already a fan on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and watch. And again, thank you so much for watching. So, Josh, what we got here is we've got a local talent, okay, singer-songwriter. And for all of y'all who maybe aren't from our area, something you may not know about, Tennessee, North Georgia, we'll just say the South, is that this is ground zero for all the greatest music that's ever been created, okay? Whether it's rock and roll, blues, country, bluegrass, whatever, it started here, folks, even jazz, okay? So we are just a wealth of amazing talent, like people like Josh. And so, again, that's why we want to share that stuff with you guys. So, well, first of all, Josh, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've known each other for many years, but how long have you been, writing music and singing and stuff?
Well, I started writing music and, seriously, I started when I was in high school, but it was just cheesy.
Now we're kind of the same age, 40s kind of thing. Okay.
We're not supposed to tell age, are we?
Hey, man, we ain't women. Yeah. I don't care.
I'm 43 years old.
Okay, yeah, so we would have gone to high school together. Yeah.
And so I started taking English class and started writing poems. And the English teacher told me, she said, these are really good. And I was like, man, no burly redneck guy writes poems. So I thought, well, I'll just write songs. And they were really cheesy. And 2002, I was in a Christian rock band called Reconciled. And my singer looked at me and said, man, we got to have some original material. And I said, well, let me see what I can do. And me and the other guitar player at the time, we sat down and wrote about 4 or 5 songs. And that's when I said, you know what, let's try this. And so I just started writing. And to me, it's therapy. It's letting out everything that's in me, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. That's my therapy, is writing.
No, it's one. Well, isn't that how art really is with everyone, though? Because it's funny. We were talking about this. A buddy of mine and I were talking about this. Is that a lot of artists, what we are almost doing, it's sick. Okay, it's almost sick. We are getting off on their pain and their issues. I mean, you take painters like Van Gogh. I mean, the guy obviously had issues, right? Mm-hmm. He's painting these beautiful paintings, but man, the guy was struggling, okay? Yeah. And he didn't really get to be famous until after he had already passed, unfortunately. But a lot of artists were dealing through are going through our pain, and we are putting it out there for everyone else to enjoy. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
But I guess we all, you know what? My friend Jesse says, misery loves company.
That's it.
And so maybe it's just that other people feel like, oh man, this guy's going through something similar, was raised a certain way. Right. So like the song that you just sang, for example, I picked up on a lot of things. You're effectively kind of going through how you were brought up. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we'll say, it sounds like you and I were brought up in a similar way, faith-based household, we understand about appreciating something greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Appreciating the simpler things, because as we get older, we realize that those are the most important things.
It's what matters.
Yeah. I mean, when we were kids, it might have been whatever the coolest new Transformer or Star Wars guy or whatever was out. But I mean, as you get older, it's like, man, that's just, so no, I understand that. And then of course, then you bring in a new part of your family with a girlfriend or wife, and you sharing these things with her. So it's kind of like a full life.
It's like going full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything goes, and that's what I've realized in life is everything goes full circle.
Absolutely.
I mean, even from the time you're born to the time you die, there's a little dash. It's about 1 inch long. And what you're remembered by is that little dash. You're not remembered by when you was born or when you die. You're remembered by that little dash.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you make of that little dash? That's where you turn full circle.
That's an excellent simile, I guess. Or is it a metaphor, Gibson?
I'd probably say it's a metaphor.
A metaphor, the dash. We're defined by our dash. So, but no, that's pretty deep, man. And you're absolutely right. Because we were actually just chit-chatting about this earlier.
Yeah.
Like the scriptures say that greater is the funeral of someone than the day they were born. Because a little baby, it's just gitchy, goo-goo and all this kind of stuff. But really, at someone's funeral, you were thinking about the impact that person left on you.
Yeah, definitely.
And so you're right. It's like we are what we are. So we got all sorts of comments pouring in. But of course, a lot of them just seem to be fans' ears. Okay.
Oh Lord.
And so we got a lot of highs and hey boy. There's this really immature guy named Blake Johnson. No, we love Blake, but he goes, "Can I get a shout out to Seymour Butts?"
Butts.
We don't know any Seymour Butts, so I'm sorry I can't help you.
No, but
there,
I am
Blake.
going to give a big shout out to. He works with a good friend of both of ours.
Yeah.
And him and Anthony Sims and Eric Key, all three
Great
run
guys.
Lucky Dog Guitars. And I really, every time I get a chance, I try to plug their business. They're great guys, great business, and I'm proud of all three of them, and I'm honored to call them friends.
But I'll tell you what's funny about, well, it's not funny, but it's a parallel to what we're doing, is that you are a music creator, and they are music creators too, just in a different way. They're creating the tools, you're creating the craft. Okay, so we're all in this together, and it's an important thing. And of course, absolutely, Anthony Abbott, for instance, we were teenagers, so yeah, absolutely, he knows.
What was that, about 10 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. Almost. So, but anyways, now some exciting news. You are, and of course, we let y'all know at home that this is an award-winning songwriter.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
So, Josh is a member of the International Singer-Songwriter Association, or ISSA.
Yes, sir.
And this year, you were honored with your latest recording being named Album of the Year for singer-songwriters, or part of that guild. And so can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I'm a part of the International Singer-Songwriter Association, and there's over 15,000 members worldwide. They range all the way from North Georgia, East Tennessee, all the way to England, France. I mean, I met people August 6th that was from England, Canada, India. I mean, it was all kinds of people.
Hey, wherever there's humans, right?
Right. And the beauty of it all was we all came together for one purpose, and that shows that music is the voice of the world.
It connects us.
It connects everybody. And so I'm at this award show in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Sandy Springs Civic Center. I think it's what it's called. I can't remember. And so to be nominated amongst 25 other people, and I'm not going to lie, to hear my name being called. There's a video on YouTube. You can see it. And my name being called, my exact words was, when I accepted my award, was, wow.
No, that's huge, man.
And for no country boy from North Georgia who grew up barefoot, stomping the roads of Mill Creek, and eating apples off a tree and drinking from a water hose and riding in the back of a pickup truck, and to go to Atlanta, Georgia, having to wear a suit and all this, it's like, man.
It's a big deal. And, I'll tell you, I know it makes everybody in your town proud to see one of their own, telling their story.
Right.
All right. Among a global crowd and people enjoying what you're putting out there, and of course being recognized for it. That's a big deal.
And on October 23rd, I don't know if you knew this or not, but have you ever heard of the Josie Awards?
Yeah, I have.
Well, October 23rd, my first album, which is titled Trip Around Home, is up for Traditional Country Album of the Year.
That's neat.
And I'll be going to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville for the award show.
How cool is that? Now, the Josie Award, she was like an independent radio, like internet radio thing, and she wanted to make an award that was not about, let's just say, the corporate influence of music. And let me just say, we could have a whole show talking about corporate influence. First of all, am I against it? Absolutely not, because I'll tell you what, all of the bands that both of us are inspired by, are corporate. I mean, we love guys like Rodney Crowell and John Prine and Bob Dylan and George Jones and Ricky Skaggs. I mean, these guys are all signed on major labels that are corporate, whatever. So it plays an important role. But there's also something else to be said about the everyman who's just doesn't have the money or doesn't have the influence to get out there and have the distribution that these big guys have.
Right.
But still make an impact. And so what the Josie Awards is, she has an independent radio station or something like that.
I think so.
Something of that nature.
I know when they was naming the nominees, they said there was over 14,000 people submitted and 1.8 were nominated.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it happened. I don't know who submitted me.
There's some metric that they work from, yeah.
But, I mean, it was a thing where I was just in total shock. And I've started doing a lot of research and come to find out both of these award shows ain't just some fly-by-night where you go pay for a trophy and they give it to you. This is actually people where your peers and your fans and a panel of judges vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me feel good to know that, I may not see everybody out of the show, but I know that they're voting for me because it's
No, that's a big deal. And so again, I understand that a lot of people may not understand or even have heard of the Josie Awards or what, but I've read about them. And the thing that I guess I like about it, okay, I might not know her whole story, but you know what it is? She's out there hustling, okay? She's out there trying to make a difference, and she's trying to help other people who are also trying to make a difference in their way. And so, hey, are you seriously going to fault anybody for that? Now, that being said, we got some more questions rolling in. And I also say this, we got some little drama coming up, okay?
Oh, Lord.
No, okay, I'm just going to say this, okay? Now, I know both of these cats, and I like both of these cats, and I'm friends with both of these cats. So don't be offended, okay? But we had one guy who popped in and goes, wow, he didn't cancel? Now, I don't know what that means. Okay. So are you some no-show Jones kind of guy?
I guess I am.
Okay. Well, and so then my buddy Preston Paris wrote in and goes, that's a little rude, don't you think? And again, Preston has got a very proud history of telling it like it is. Okay.
I like Preston.
He's one of a kind, that's for sure. But and then Brandon Lee is the one who commented. Now, Brandon is actually one of the best Elvis impersonators out there. Mm-hmm. Okay, say it like it is. I mean, love him or hate him, but Brandon does he loves Elvis and knows everything there is about. He goes, he canceled on us twice. You got anything to say about that?
I don't even know who Brandon is. I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay, well, yeah. Whatever. So whatever. That being said, Brandon, you need to get a hold of Josh because I don't think Josh should cancel on you guys. So that being said, if you got a show and you want Josh to be part of it, I'm sure he will.
Actually, he can contact Barry Sullivan, a.k.a. B-Man.
B-Man,
Triple
absolutely.
S Music. He's taking care of all my bookings. You can find him on Facebook.
Again, now that being said, I know that some people might, when you talk about local artists, one thing that, again, it's going to inadvertently come up is if somebody has a scheduling conflict and canceled on us or this or that. Hey, guys, let me just say this. The last 48 hours in my life, which, again, my life is the live music thing. If you guys didn't already know that, duh. And it's been drama. I am allergic to drama, okay?
Oh, me too.
If you got something to say, come on, we're all, dudes here. And when I say dudes, I mean girls, guys, whatever. If you got something to say, just get it out there and let's be done with it and be this
Exactly.
backbiting and hiding in the shadow stuff is silly. Okay. We don't care. We're not into it. That being said, if you got an issue with it, it's best just to clear the air and be done with it. But I know that Josh is a straight up guy. He's a cool cat and he does good music, and that's what counts. Okay, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to move the craft forward. We're trying to share it with other people, because at the end of the day, what we're putting out there is a product that our culture is defined by. Okay, and it's huge. It really is huge, because when you think about it, the average person couldn't tell you who the governor of Tennessee was in 1955. But you sure as heck could tell me what hit songs George Jones or Elvis put out in 1955.
White Lightning Races.
There you go. So, I mean, the point is that our culture is defined by our art. So let's not get into that kind of nonsense. Know that we're all in this together and we're about this. So this is about Josh, and he's doing a great job. Okay. So now again, we've chit-chat a little bit, but again, these folks here, we got a good pile of people viewing. Come to hear your songs. Okay.
I'm sorry. I really am.
But seriously, they want to hear another one. So let's play them one.
I'm gonna do this one right here, and I wrote it with a buddy of mine. It's the only song that I've ever recorded that was co-written, and he's out of Tazewell, Tennessee. His name's Brandon Fulson, and we wrote this song right here. It's called She Ain't Sober. She's 4 days clean, but she ain't sober. She's left a dream she can't get over. A love that's gone wrong and cards that were dealt. She's still playing a hand that she has left. devil whispers as he sleeps in her veins. She swore off the whiskey, but the shiver still remains. The promise of a prayer caused the greatest pain. She's 4 days clean, but she ain't sober. She's left a dream she can't get over. A love that's gone wrong, the cards that were dealt, she's still playing a hand that she has left. The devil's promise of many, many things left her broken hearted, her mind with a mental and emotional strain. Chocolate and tears are all she has when life gets real. These feelings will pass. She's 4 days clean, she ain't sober. She's left a dream she can't get over. Love that's gone wrong, cards that were dealt, she's still playing a hand that she has left.
That's a pretty dark song, man.
Thank you.
So now when I say dark, I don't mean bad. I mean that you can tell that it comes from a place of pain.
Yeah.
You know, you're telling a story, obviously, of a personal experience, I'm assuming. Okay.
Well, it wasn't my personal experience, but it was when me and Brandon started writing that song, it was he had somebody in mind and I had somebody in mind. And it was kind of like their stories were both the same. And his was just a tad bit different. Instead of his dealing with heartache, his was dealing with addiction. And that's where the chocolate and tears comes in.
Mm-hmm.
To where their addiction was alcohol, drugs. And the one that I was referring to was love. So we decided to take it and put it together and said, you know what? It all boils down to everybody just wants to feel loved. Whether it's,
there's no doubt there, yeah.
Whether it's addiction, pain, heartbreak, aloneness, everybody just wants to feel worthy.
I had a friend of mine, and I'm going to shout out to him. He's a great guy. His name is Josh Miller. And Josh is an amazing songwriter, and he used to work for me at the store. Mm-hmm. And he later went on to play with the Lovell sisters, who are now known as Larkin Poe, or big rock stars. And then later toured with Joe Diffie, played the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, Josh is, we'll just say, one of the best, all right? And he wrote a song one time, and and there was a line in it that said, all wars are fought for love. And I was thinking of love. You know, you're talking about killing someone, stabbing someone, killing. Love. But if you think about it, all wars are fought for love. They're love for their own side.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, it really and see, that's the power of music and the power of words, is it put me in a place where I'm like, I never put it in that perspective. But really, when you think about it, we're all dealing with things that are based upon what are passionate to us.
Right.
Okay. And feeling good is one of those things that passion. And honestly, so much addiction is based on feeling good.
Well, and ain't just that, it's feeling accepted. They may not be accepted here, and they couldn't handle the rejection, so they was influenced by somebody else. And
Or
what I found
something
out,
else.
because what I found out in life, and I used to be a juvenile correction officer, and when I was at the training down in Forsyth, Georgia, they told us, they said, it don't matter if they're a child or an adult or a teenager. Negative attention's better than no attention.
Sure.
So people
It's
get
attention
addicted
nonetheless, yeah.
because they were looking for attention, and somebody gave them attention, whether it was negative or positive. So that's what I've had to, I've always wanted to say, I want to take that negative energy and turn it positive.
Yeah, that's I'll tell you, that's one of the most noble things I've ever heard on this show. When it's a funny thing you say that, because I had some, and this is nothing as deep as the song you wrote, but I had some issues. Is that, we have a small business, main stage music, we all love, come into the store and stuff. And every once in a while, there might be someone who feels that we didn't do what we could have done. Okay. Right. And so then they'll do something out of some sort of knee jerk, whatever, and may give us some sort of bad review or whatever. Again, I will do everything I can to make what's what's right or what's wrong right. Whatever you say, you make it right with somebody. But some people just won't have anything of it. And I stopped and thought about it. I'm like, when people write a review, you ever think about it? The comment card is usually like, there was a hair in my food, or they didn't cook this steak right. Or it's usually there when you're mad. Mm-hmm. But when you're sitting here, your belly's full and you're feeling great, you don't go, where's the comment card? I feel great. Yeah. Isn't it funny? It's such a lopsided or asymmetrical curve that when we're mad, then we want to say something.
Right.
But when we're happy, we're happy.
Yeah.
And so it's a funny thing how that affects art too as well.
It's like we were talking about earlier. You could have 100 things happen to you that was great in one day, and you could have one bad moment.
Yeah.
That'll just turn your whole day.
Yeah.
Bad.
Now, hey, we've got a few comments coming in. And first of all, you've got a really sweet comment from a Lenora Scott Johnson. I don't know where she's from. I hope you're following us, Lenora. She says, congratulations, Josh. Talking about your win. I love how your songs, they hit home. They're so meaningful and touch her heart. Now, I don't know about you, but I'll tell you what, that touches my heart just reading it.
That means a lot.
No, because you have someone who your art has affected them on a very personal level. That's a big deal. Then we have Kyle Clark. Now, Kyle's a regular at our store. He bought a beautiful Martin. He's a very good musician. And he was really affected by your song, too, because that was really deep. So he really liked that as well. And that's what this show is all about. We want to connect his craft, his art with y'all. And we got Brian Osborne, who just typed in. He goes, what hits your mind first, the melody or the lyrics? And when do you tie them together when you write? Do you have any kind of formula with that? Or?
Well, it's funny he says that because I've been asked the same question a million times. Don't say one-liners around me because that's where it catches.
Like earlier today.
Yeah.
We were talking about, what's the song you're going to write now? You're going to give me a co-writer credit on? Yeah, it's better left unsaid.
Better left unsaid. Because
you heard it here first, people.
You heard it here first.
If his next hit song, "You Better Left Unsaid," came from this live stream, us shucking and jiving.
Yes.
So no, it's a great line.
Somebody will say a one-liner, or somebody will say something in my brain. I'm very ADD, very.
Hey, welcome to the club, brother.
And I think every musician or artist of any kind of form of art is part ADD.
Absolutely, it's part of the
and
mixture.
So I could be sitting there talking full conversation, and I could hear somebody over in the background say something, and I'm there. And so then it's like, okay, now I'm taking what they said, and in my mind I'm putting words with it. And then I'm like, okay, where's my guitar? Where's the piano? Where's Where's a pen? Where's a piece of paper? So it kind of comes out lyrically first. And then as I'm doing the lyrics, in my head, I'm hearing a melody that goes with it. It's getting my hands to do what my brain is telling it to do. And luckily, I have the greatest record engineer on the planet. His name is Donnie Hammonds. And he's at After Dark Studios in Cartersville, because I can go in and tell him, this is what I want. This is what I hear. And he'll take it and he'll just put it in there. And then it's like,
that's his job.
I'm going to throw some testosterone in it. I'm going to beef this up.
Boom.
And it's like, yes.
Now, I want to let you guys know something. We almost got in a fist fight, okay? Because Josh and I must not see eye to eye on some things. He's come in wearing a shirt that says Chris Stapleton on it.
Oh, Lord.
And then he told me he's not even a Chris Stapleton fan. Now, we almost come to blows, okay? Because I'm sorry, but I believe Chris Stapleton, I loved his music with the Steel Drivers.
There you go.
And no,
There you go.
But there's only so much bluegrass. Like my friend Trevor said, he goes, with bluegrass, once you've heard one song, then you've heard them both.
Yes. Yes.
And, but the thing is that Chris Stapleton is, in my opinion, one of the kind of guy who got me wanting to write again. Okay. And you said, I don't care much for Chris Stapleton. I could not disagree with you more. And then the only thing you bring up is Tennessee Whiskey, which in my opinion is the weakest track on the Traveler album.
It is. It is the weakest track.
It's the weakest track. Now again,
Yes.
whatever, but it's already a hit. So what, but that being said, it's like, how can you honestly sit here and say that you don't care
All
for
right.
Chris Stapleton?
Here's my favorite song.
Have you heard the Starting Over album yet?
Yes. Love it.
Dude, it's,
But I'm going to say the
if
best
you didn't
song,
cry when you heard Maggie's song, you're just wrong.
I love Maggie's song. But my favorite song on Traveler is The Devil Named Music.
That's a great tune.
It's awesome. And they should have played it on the radio. But instead,
Dude.
they
Let's not get into corporate. We've already talked about corporate crap.
I mean, it's
No. They're looking for
cookie cutter.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my wife and I both are huge Stapleton fans. We own everything he's done, From a Room, Volume 1 and 2, and Starting Over. The whole catalog, we are just about fans, okay, for every single song, all right? I'm not going to get into politics. That's not my bag. Okay, but that being said, the guy's an American treasure, and if you don't like Stapleton... I think there was a song about Hank Williams. If you don't like Hank Williams,
You can
kiss my,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm almost that same way when it comes to Stapleton.
Right.
All right. And so that guy, though, he writes hooks. He writes songs that we can all relate to.
Right.
And it's not formula country. And one thing I've appreciated, at least about the last two songs I've heard from you, I've not heard formula. Now, if you don't know what I mean by the formula, or if y'all don't know, I mean... I'm going down to a little dirt road to find a little old thing good in my pickup truck, and I'm gonna, dude. We've all heard this
The
stuff.
tan lines and tailgates.
It's like, good,
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. This is stuff that me and you could sit out and pump out 12 songs in an afternoon. Now, I'm not saying, and this is for my cousin Joe if he's watching. Okay, let me tell you a little story. I was DJing my niece's wedding. My cousin comes up to me and goes, hey, can you play some Eric Church? I go, oh, God bless. I said, dude, we could go out in the parking lot and write better music than that in 10 minutes and this stuff. And he looks me straight in the eye and he goes, well, my wife and I, we've enjoyed a lot of very positive memories, and Eric Church has been on the radio in the background. And, man, I felt about that big. Okay, because here's the thing I completely agree with, and have to humble myself, is whether I like something or not, it is the soundtrack to people's memories, and I will never take that away from them.
Right.
Okay, and so now that being said, as a country music fan, okay, rabid country music fan, I can't stand this kind of stuff. Because it's formula. In other words, I can see, all he did was he chained together some stuff. And I'm so happy that I haven't heard that stuff with your music.
I'm going to say this, and I'm a diehard. I mean, there was times me and Anthony Sims would just ride around and listen to Chiseled and Stone and Daryl Singletary. And
Oh, he's a great songwriter.
Listen
Wow.
to some of the saddest country songs ever. But the soundtrack to my life as a teenager was 90s country. Straight up. Brooks and Dunn, Garth Brooks.
Mark Chestnut, Tracy Lawrence trilogy, and I was there.
Yeah, I mean, it was the
Hello,
soundtrack of my
darling.
life.
When and where? I'm there. I'm there.
What's crazy is I'm listening. One day, my Bluetooth wasn't working in my truck, and I had to listen to mainstream radio. And they're like, "We're going to play a country classic," and the first thing they played was a Joe Diffie song, and I'm like, "Wow, this is classic."
Which one?
No,
Pickup Man?
This ain't classic.
Tell me
Yeah.
it's Pickup Man.
Pickup Man. And I'm like, man, this is
Something
not
women laugh
classic
about.
country. I'm like, classic country was Waylon and Hank and Johnny Cash.
Oh,
And then I realized
I'm old.
I'm old.
I'm vintage.
I'm just
Dude,
like,
I'll tell you
no.
what. I love that stupid song, Pickup Man. And
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm trying to think, though, because I don't think I have an 8-foot bed. I only think I got a 6-foot bed in my F-150 nowadays. It's kind of hard to find an 8-foot bed that don't have to be made.
It is.
What happened?
is.
Joe? I mean, if he wouldn't have died of COVID, now he could write a song about that. So
I know it.
now we got another question from Jeremy Lehman.
That's my buddy. What's up, Worm?
Jeremy, thanks for watching. Josh, do you still sing Don't Go Near the Water? Is that a tune you still play out?
That's a Sammy Kershaw tune, and
Ooh, Sammy Kershaw.
I do play some Don't Go Near the Water. Jeremy actually knows some of the bad stuff that I do, too, so we're not going to mention that. But Jeremy Lehman, and I'll say something about Jeremy. Jeremy is one of the guys who was there at the beginning when it wasn't me playing shows. It was me playing on the porch or back of a pickup truck in the Shoney's parking lot, freezing cold, drinking beer because we had nowhere else to go.
Sure.
Jeremy was there when all these other people are, and I love the people who follow me, and I don't call them fans. I call them friends because
Sure.
that's what they are.
That's what they are. Absolutely.
And there's people there now that's been there from the beginning of me playing shows. But Jeremy was there at a pool hall in 2001 when I'm sitting on a tailgate playing Down South Jukin', Don't Go Near the Water, Family Tradition, Check Yes or No. And people are just calling songs out and I'm just playing them. And I will admit there was alcohol involved.
Hey, alcohol's involved in all the best art,
Yeah, But Jeremy was there, and I want to thank him solely for being there.
Well, Jeremy, appreciate you. Look at, it's good to make people feel great when they know they're part of it. Now, here's another thing I guess I want to ask, because, again, we're kind of, we're still got a fair amount of people watching. That's good. But where are you playing these days?
September 10th, I'll be playing in Piedmont, Alabama.
Piedmont?
Where's
Alabama? Piedmont?
Outside of center, way past center on the right. That's all I can tell you.
Smoking. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. If it ain't North Alabama, the second you get past Fort Payne, I'm out.
Well, center Alabama and Cedar Bluffs where Lake Wise is.
Okay.
So you go through center and you take a right and you're in Piedmont. You take a left, you're in Jacksonville. And I'm playing at a place called the Red Moon Saloon on September 10th.
Okay. Red Moon Saloon.
September 16th, I'll be at Caffeine Addicts in Ringo, Georgia,
Oh, there you go.
which is a family show. It will be a coffee house.
That's good. Hey, man. Families need to hear good
Oh, yeah, 100%.
hurting music like this, too.
And Mr. B-Man will admit they have a great club sandwich there.
Yes.
I mean, I'm fat. I like food.
Dude,
And they
I
have-
love club sandwich. When people say, hey, you want to go clubbing? I'm like, if you don't want club sandwiches, I'm in.
Exactly. And then on the 23rd, I'll be at Ironworks Grill at Tellico Plains.
I've never been to Ironworks. How is that?
I've never been there either.
Okay.
I'm debuting there. And then the 24th, I do not know the name of the festival, but I will be on the 24th. I'll be opening up for Cole Setzler in Benton, Tennessee, at
Okay.
some festival they're having there.
Benton's a beautiful
I love
area
Benton.
right at the foot of the Cherokee range there. And
You better go the speed limit in Benton, Tennessee.
yeah, that's how they make their money out there. Yeah, keep
Yes.
pulling people over.
Yes.
But now Benton's a beautiful area. If people don't know where Benton is, okay, you go to Cleveland, you swing a left. Okay, what's that? 411 or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you drive all the way out there, and you'll eventually run into a Cherokee mountain range out there. If you swing a right, you'll end up in North Georgia, and I'm trying to think of the name of that town right on the border there.
Copper Hill, Tennessee.
If you swing a left, you'll end up in Etowah, and then if you swing another left, you'll end up back in Dayton. If you take Highway 30 far enough, right from Etowah to Dayton.
Yeah.
So hey, it all swings back around. It's all good. But
I have spent many, many nights in Copper Hill, Tennessee.
well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and. Well, first of all, I want to thank you again so much for coming on out.
Thank you for
Why don't
having
you
me
play
on.
us another song? And we want you guys to go to Facebook or wherever y'all do the social stuff, and definitely check out Josh Bearden. He has CDs available. Obviously, he's out playing gigs. You definitely need to check him out. We want to thank him so much for coming out and sharing his art with us, his craft. And we want to encourage y'all to do the same. You know, what we're all about at Main Stage is creating, keeping that spirit alive, okay? And Josh is a perfect example of the kind of guy who's doing it, as are all the people who's been on our our artist showcase every month. You guys have been joining them. So again, thank you so much, Josh, for coming on out. Go ahead
Thank
and
you
send
for
us
having
off with a song, if you don't mind.
I'm just an old hayseed, I'm sitting in this bar. I've got these dim lights and this twang bang guitar. You say you're going places, son, you won't go that far. With an attitude like that, boy, never be a star. Hayseeds and rednecks, we're all the same. We're proud of who we are and our family name. Our necks are red and our collars are blue. And there's a lot more of us hayseeds than there ever will be of you. I know you're out here trying to make a name, but you're cutting people down just like your Jesse James. Remember who you step on your way to the top. When you fall, boy, guess what? We ain't forgot. Hayseeds and rednecks, we're all the same. We're proud of who we are and our family name. Our necks are red and our collars are blue. And there's a lot more of us hayseeds than there ever will be of you. Hayseeds and rednecks, we're all the same. We're proud of who we are and our family name. Our necks are red and our collars are blue. And there's a lot more of us hayseeds than there ever will be of you. There's a lot more of us hayseeds than there ever will be of you.
All right. We all get